Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are zeroing in on a project that I think carries maybe the heaviest expectation of any film out there right now.
Oh, definitely.
Christopher Nolan's follow-up to, well, the phenomenon that was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
We're going to try and synthesize everything we know about his next epic, the Odyssey.
And the pressure is just, it's immense, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Oppenheimer swept the Oscars Best Picture, director, actor.
Right.
Nolan went from, huge blockbuster director to this kind of cultural icon status.
Totally.
So his next move, it's not exactly playing it safe.
Yeah.
Adapting Homer's Odyssey. I mean, that's a foundational text. It needs brains and scale.
Okay, let's unpack that challenge. The scale. You can see it in just the basic details, right? The release date, the tech.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's set for a massive IMAX release, July 17th, 2026. Universal announced that back in December 2024.
Yeah, almost 2 years out, even then.
And they called it a mythic action epic, shot globally. But the key phrase was brand new IMAX film technology.
And that's classic Nolan, that technical commitment. When he says brand new IMAX tech, you know it's not just about a bigger screen.
Right. What could it mean for the Odyssey specifically? It's this 10-year journey, basically nonstop sailing.
Exactly. Is it like a new film stock? Something to make the journey feel seamless, maybe fewer visible cuts, to make you feel that endless travel.
Interesting.
And filming's already underway, right? Morocco, Sicily. Locations that scream authenticity for an 8th century BCE story. He's clearly going for that physical scope.
Which you absolutely need, because the story itself, while focused on one man, is just huge. It's the original hero's journey. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, trying to get home for a decade after the Trojan War. It's treacherous.
And the source material? It's basically this series of really dramatic, almost self-contained episodes.
Yeah.
Blinding Polyphemus the Cyclops.
Yes, Cyclops.
Navigating the siren song, getting stuck with Calypso the nymph, dealing with Circe the witch goddess.
These aren't just action sequences, though. They're tests, right? Of his cleverness, his endurance.
Absolutely. More psychological than just, CGI monsters.
Right. And while he's off facing all that, the tension back home in Ithaca is just as high, maybe higher.
Oh, yeah, Penelope.
His wife.
Stuck dealing with all these aggressive suitors who've basically taken over her house.
And that famous image of her weaving and then unraveling a shroud every night. Just to stall them. It's brilliant. If Odysseus' journey is the body of the film, Ithaca feels like the heart.
Well put. So if that's the emotional core, who's carrying it? Which brings us to the cast. And wow, this cast list is something else.
It's staggering. Matt Damon was announced pretty early on as Odysseus.
Yeah, October 2024. And Universal even put out a first look photo.
Yeah.
Very gladiator-esque, people were saying.
Looks the part. And then landing Tom Holland as Telemachus, Odysseus' son. That's huge for bringing in, a contemporary audience.
Massive. And Holland's been fueling the hype, hasn't he? Called the script the best he's ever read.
That's a big statement. But, okay, let's pause there. How do you handle, 20 A-listers?
Just a lot.
Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, and the list goes on. Samantha Morton, Himesh Patel, Elliot Page.
Bill Irwin, Jesse Garcia, Will Yun Lee, Corey Hawkins.
Okay. It's huge. How do you stop half of them feeling like glorified cameos? Does all that star power risk pulling focus from Damon's journey?
That's the Nolan puzzle, isn't it? It's not just random A-listers. Look closer and you see his patterns.
What do you?
Well, you've got the Nolan veterans, the sort of rep company, people who get his rhythm.
Ah, right. Like Anne Hathaway, obviously Damon, Bennie Safdie's back.
Himesh Patel, Elliot Page, Bill Irwin, too. They worked with him before. And Robert Pattinson was reportedly in talks as well, another Tenet alum.
Okay, so there's a core group who understand the Nolan way.
Exactly. And then you inject these other huge names, Zendaya, Nyong'o, Saron, Bernthal. You figure they're playing the goddesses, key crew members, maybe the main suitors back in Ithaca.
Makes sense. It shows the loyalty he inspires, too, that these people keep coming back.
Yeah, though they did hit one snag. Cosmo Jarvis from Shogun.
Oh, yeah, he was attached, wasn't he?
Had to drop out. Scheduling conflict, apparently, back in early July. But they replaced him really quickly with Logan Marshall Green.
So even with this giant cast, the machine keeps rolling. Smooth operation.
And that secrecy, that operational tightness, Elliot Page talked about this, reuniting with Nolan 15 years after inception.
Wow, 15 years. What did Page say?
At New York Comic Con, just recently, actually. Confirmed the script process is still the same super secret routine.
The locked room reading.
Yep, you have to physically go to an office, read the script there, and leave. No copies, digital or physical, floating around.
Ultimate security. But Page talked about more than just security, right? Something about the writing itself.
Yes, this is the really fascinating bit. Page described both the Odyssey and Inception scripts as feeling like an engine or a ride.
And an engine, what does that imply?
Well, think about it. An engine suggests something structurally complex, right? Every single piece fits. Everything's interconnected. Essential.
Okay.
Page said these scripts often start off feeling big or slightly confusing,
Which sounds familiar for Nolan.
but then all the pieces click together. They converge in a way that's really emotionally satisfying in the end.
Inception. Structurally demanding, complex rules, but ultimately about DiCaprio's character, his grief, his kids.
Precisely. Inception was that perfect engine, deeply emotional at its core.
So the challenge for the Odyssey is, how do you connect all that mythology, the monsters, the magic, the gods, to that tight, engine-like structure?
That's the question.
How does he make sure those defined and beautiful emotional arcs, as Page put it, aren't lost in the sheer massiveness of it all?
If Nolan's really focusing on the emotion, like Page suggests, then maybe those A-listers playing, say, Calypso or Circe, they won't just be flashy cameos.
Right, they'd have to be integral parts of Odysseus's internal journey, his transformation.
Exactly. And Page added a really personal note, too. Talked about the joy of coming back to a Nolan set after his transition.
Oh, wow.
Said being more comfortable in yourself made the whole experience more enjoyable and how much it meant so much to him. It kind of adds another layer to Nolan's reputation as, a loyal collaborator.
That's really great to hear. And we also heard about the lead's commitment, right, from Bennie Safdie.
Yeah, Safdie observed Damon filming for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
Said, despite the onerous task of playing Odysseus, Damon kept this incredible warmth and excitement.
6 months is intense.
And Safdie literally said Damon went through the Odyssey. It underlines the huge physical, emotional effort this kind of engine demands, especially from the lead.
And all this ambition, it's already starting to divide people, isn't it? Even before we've seen much.
Oh, yeah. There's a trailer out, screening only in theaters, supposedly.
Though, let's be real, it leaked online pretty fast.
Inevitable these days. But the reactions, even just based on the concept and the buzz, are really split.
Okay, what are the two main camps?
Well, on one side, you've got the pure excitement. The Homer plus Nolan equals awesomeness crowd.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're expecting, like, the ultimate mythic spectacle, using that new IMAX tech perfectly.
Yeah.
Taking the precision he showed in Oppenheimer and just applying it to this huge, fantastical story.
The definitive Odyssey.
But there's a strong counter-argument. You can't just ignore it.
The skeptics.
Yeah. People arguing that Nolan's fantasy or epic stuff, maybe The Dark Knight Rises, maybe even bits of Inception, can feel a bit weaker, maybe lazier or more formulaic than his grounded dramas.
Like Memento or Oppenheimer.
Exactly. The idea is that maybe he struggles a bit when he's dealing with pure action or adapting existing mythology compared to when he's inventing his own complex rules.
That's a critical point. Is Nolan actually better when he's building his own intricate sci-fi worlds from scratch, rather than adapting something already so well-known, so foundational?
The Odyssey needs both that intellectual depth and the massive scale. That's the tightrope he's walking.
So, pulling this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener, looking ahead to 2026?
Well, we've synthesized the key things, right?
Yeah.
Nolan's pushing the boundaries with IMAX tech again. The production is wrapped in that intense Inception-level secrecy.
He's assembled this incredible cast, mixing veterans with huge new stars, all seemingly committed to serving this central engine of a script.
Yeah, and that brings us back to the core question, really stemming from Elliot Page's insight.
Okay.
If the Odyssey script is truly an emotionally focused, structurally complex engine like Inception, how does Nolan make that work with the source material? How does he translate the messy, specific, mythological parts, the magic, the gods, the time jumps in the poem, into that tight, satisfying structure?
Right. Can an ancient mythic action epic actually be mind-bending in the way Inception was? Or will the sheer spectacle, the massiveness, end up overshadowing those emotional arcs that Page talked about?
Finding that balance between the ancient mythological heart and that precise structural engine, that feels like everything for this film.
That's definitely the big question to keep in mind. We'll have to wait until July 2026 to see how he answers it.